Okay, so I just uploaded a video about precise piston mechanics, and I want to make two corrections. Well, one correction and one addition to that. First of all, I knew this while I was actually uploading the video, and I made a comment and an annotation on the video. I just didn't want to make an entire new video just because of this small little detail, but it's worth mentioning, and plus I have another thing to show you, which is, I guess, kind of important. And Myron will probably be making a video using this pretty soon. No spoilers. But anyway, I said that first talent entities are created and then block events are processed, and the game does actually call talent entities to be created for blocks that don't already have talent entities. The thing is, it doesn't do this for pistons. In fact, it's kind of weird. It does this only for talent entities that were specifically queued to be created and weren't created immediately, but it doesn't matter. For pistons, their talent entities are created immediately when the block event is called, and I made a mistake with this. And this is actually, if this were true, then actually what I said about short pulses wouldn't be true, because for this thing, the block event would be processed, but then the second piston would create its talent entity in the same tick, which should, according to this, what I said before, should come before block events, but that's actually wrong. Block event of this block placing itself here actually gets processed, and then it adds a block event for this piston to get processed, which gets processed in the same tick because it's still in the block event stage. So this is only one step actually, and this is important to note, and I apologize for that mistake. But then the second thing I wanted to show is that basically the block 36 or talent entity pistons have a attribute called progress, and this progress can be one of three values: 0, a half, or 1. When it's initialized as 0, and when it's 1, it's finished. Basically, when it reaches 1, it says to delete the talent entities and place the blocks and everything. Well, basically, according to this theory, according to this explanation that I provided in the previous video, what should happen is the talent entity gets added, and then later in the same tick, it should get processed, which means that a piston talent entity will always have a value of half when saved to the world. So, like when a tick is finished, it should only ever have a progress value of a half or 1, and then on the start of the next tick, well, basically the next tick, when the talent entity update call is being made, then it'll see that the progress is 1, and then delete the talent entity and place the blocks and everything. So that's important to note. The talent entity actually deletes itself and places the blocks basically at the start of the call. So there will be one tick where the talent entity will have a progress value of 1, and then the next tick is when it's actually going to be deleted. But Myron pointed out to me, and then I checked in MC Edit and then MBT Explorer, and actually, yes, for some reason the talent entities were showing a progress of 0, and this was peculiar to me, and then I went back and checked with the code, and I missed a small detail. I noticed this before, I just didn't notice that it would behave this way. Basically, for the game when it's running, there are actually two variables, one called progress and one called last progress, which progress gets updated at the end of the update call, and last progress gets equated to progress at the start of the call. And so last progress gets equated to progress at the start of the call, and then last progress is checked if it's bigger than or equal to 1, which basically means if it's 1, then it'll delete itself and do all these things. Otherwise, it's going to skip that part and then add 1/2 to progress. Now, what I didn't notice is when a talent entity piston gets saved to the world, to the MBT, then what it actually saves is the value of last progress, and then when it gets loaded back into the game, both progress and last progress are both set to what's loaded in from the MBT. So this is actually a bug, because this means that the progress gets set to 0 when you relog, and this way, if you run one game tick, relog, run one game tick, relog, run one game tick, relog, again and again and again, the piston will never actually finish extending. and we can actually use this for some things. And like I said, Myron may be making a video soon. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out. So relogging, so first of all, that's why you would notice a Piston Talented T with a progress 0 sometimes, and that's also something that could be useful for certain contraptions. Yep, so that's it. Thanks for watching.